Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. First of all, I'd like to wish all of you a very happy new year, and I hope we will all be filled with optimism and look forward to good things to come and not let negative thoughts take over us. So this is Mars Black. I'm going to go back to my staple color for a first layer. Okay. I'm going to do a combination of Mars Black and turquoise. The turquoise will provide some tonal variation. Because it really is a phthalo green. It's a very beautiful, rich color. I like it a lot. It's a very earthy, organic kind of look to it. Makes me think of the oceans or the forests. So you can see this is really totally covering the plate, which, by the way, this is a 16 by 20 gel plate. So it's a larger size. Okay. Now I'm going to do a different approach here. I'm going to subtract instead of using other tools like my silicone brush or silicone tool. I am going to use a rag, because I have used the rag before and I was interested, or it did produce some interesting results. So I'm going to use a rag and take away certain areas. It does create a very painterly effect. It's not something you can achieve with a brayer. Okay. So I will let this dry and then think about the next step. Okay, it's been a few minutes under the ceiling fan. So now for contrast, I'm going to put some vermilion. Now this is Lucas Cadmium Red. I'm just going to put very little as a accent color, and then the rest will be, this is Lucas Beige. I always find it tends to clog up. So I have to clear out the nozzle first. Okay, I'm going to see if this will work. I'm going to start with the cadmium red. And then work on beige. It's practically white. So since this is a fairly large plate, I work on it in quadrants. I divide the plate into sections, and then I work on it in parts. Otherwise it can be overwhelming. Okay. I still have a leftover of my cold, and I hope it's on its way out. Again, I'm using my Richardson watercolor paper, and I'm using the smooth side. So this pebble side is the back side. So hopefully the second layer will pick up the first one. So I will leave this on for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see how we made out. Now when the plate is sticking to the paper like this, I know that it's a good transfer, but the risk is tearing. So I am peeling, I don't know if you can see this, On camera, I am peeling off the plate. This is really stuck. But I think the transfer is outstanding. Now I have to pull the paper at an angle because straight on it's too much resistance. Very cool. I like that a lot. So we'll let this air dry and then I will figure out the next step. Okay, everybody, here we are at the next step. I had to think about this very carefully. These are my reusable stencils, and I decided I want to put a iridescent layer of white. This is nacreous white by Nova, and this is slightly transparent. So it's, I think it will work well with the dark background. And what I'm going to do is use a brush to fill in the nooks and crannies. Now, sometimes I leave the brush marks on, but this time I want the layer to be very even and thin. Sort of like a veil. So what I will do is even this out with a smaller brayer. Like so. So the small brayer makes sure that the paint goes into the smaller crevices. Okay, so I have my plastic tray. And since this is iridescent white, it's a little easier to see the stencils. Now it's always a challenge to pull off the bigger ones. I have to be careful not to rip. If I pull too hard, see, that's why I stopped using paper stencils a long time ago, because there's no way a paper stencil can withstand the force of pulling. Okay, I think I got them all. Let me just do a final wipe on the edges. Okay. So here is the first pull. Okay, let's see how we made out. Oh, I forgot a stencil again. The white comes off as very silvery. I think it's a very nice contrast from the dark and turbulent background, and then you have a layer of silver on top. So actually I will go ahead and show you a close-up. I think the layer of cut shapes gives some contrast. So I hope you liked this video. This was a lot of fun to do. And I did it with a sense of optimism to keep going, being this is the beginning of new year 2025. And thank you so much, all you wonderful subscribers and viewers. Please pay a visit to artwhisper88.com, which is my storefront. The sales of these pieces help to keep this channel going. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time, and a very happy new year.